In this video, we are talking the number one drill that helps golfers to fix their tempo, to fix their weight transfer, and to fix their strike with their irons. So the reason why this drill works so well is because we're going to look at a few of the major swing faults that people have, and then I'll explain how it corrects it. Number one, a lot of golfers get stuck on their trail side and struggle to really get that pressure back into their lead leg to hit down on the ball and get that nice compression. They're trying to scoop the ball into the air, and quite often they'll either fat it, thin it, jank it. They're just not going to get good contact because your center of mass is not in front of the ball. The fix to that is we need to learn how to transfer our pressure into our lead leg that allows us to hit down on the ball. It's often a bit of a mental blocker of people just trying to help the ball up. So the drill allows people to feel that natural sequencing of what it's like to get in front of the ball and hit down on it. Another major swing fault which results in slices, over the top moves, casting, a very common one, is people are way too fast in transition. They're so eager to hit the golf ball that as they're swinging back, they're already moving their upper body. They're just trying to jump on the golf ball and thinking that that's how you hit it hard, that's how you get speed. All it results in is, like we said, casting the hands, over the top moves, slices, poor compression on the golf ball. The sequence as well helps to feel patience in transition and learn the timing of how to move and when to actually fire your arms through impact. All right, so they're just two of the major faults that people have. And honestly, those faults cover 95% of golfers. All right, but this drill has so many more benefits. I could spend ages talking about all of the swing faults that it fixes, but let's jump into the drill. So here's how we set up for it. Grab your club. I've got an 8-iron here. We've got our ball on the ground. What we want to do is set up like normal. So nice hip width stance, set up to the ball, and we're going to hover and have the club out in front of us like this. All right. And to start with, I don't want you to hit the ball. I'm just having the ball there for reference so you can see where we were setting up. All right, so I'll move it a little bit in front because I want you to practice hitting the ground first. Let's set up like normal and then hover the club out at your lead leg. Step one of the 3 steps is we are going to swing back, and as we are swinging back, we are stepping off the ball at the same time. Okay, so we're not staying static. We are allowing ourselves to step off, and we hover the club in front because it helps with a bit of momentum, because a lot of people do struggle if they're starting here to step and move the club. All right, so a little bit of momentum to help us swing. So the idea here is we want to get to the top of our backswing position with a good turn. That is step one. My pressure and weight are all on my trail side, but now for step 2, we are going to move that into our lead leg. So we've gone back, stop. Step 2 is we want to put that pressure into the lead leg, like we're doing a bit of a lunge. The key here is to not open our shoulders or pull our hands down in any way. You want to feel like you're leaving them as high as you can. They will drop naturally, but you're not trying to force them to drop. We want to feel like we are staying closed with our shoulders, keeping our hands high, because when we transfer our weight forward and our pressure forward into the ground here, we now have a ton of room and a ton of time to bring the club down. We're not getting stuck because we've early extended and turned our shoulders too quickly. All right, we're giving ourselves time, we're giving ourselves space to allow the club to effectively be delivered into impact. So keep those hands high, keep those shoulders closed, transfer that weight into the lead leg as step number 2. Now, step number 3, we're going to hit the ball, or on this practice swing, we're going to hit the ground where the ball would be. 2 things you are focusing on. That is it. Push into the ground with all that pressure you've just stored in your lead leg and throw the club at the same time. We're timing the feeling of pushing and throwing. The key here is we don't want to allow our chest and our head height to raise. All right. We don't want to push and stand up. That is early extension. That is not an element that we want within this drill or your swing. You need to feel like you are keeping your chest and your head at the same height relative to the ground as you push. Practice this movement. As you push and keep yourself at the same height, you will feel your lead hip turn out of the way. This is where proper hip rotation comes from in the swing. It doesn't come from trying to twist. It comes from using the proper ground reaction force to allow the extension of your leg to push the hip out of the way and clear to make room for the club to come through. All right, so that is the key thing that you need to work on. Get into this forward position and be comfortable with pushing and throwing the club without standing up. Let's recap on that. So setting up normal, step 1. Step 2, getting that weight and pressure into the lead leg. And then we are pushing and throwing whilst maintaining our height. Once you get comfortable with doing that, we're now going to condense it down into 2 steps. Now, this more closely mimics a full swing. All that we are combining is steps 1 and 2. So we take our normal setup, have the club hovered forward. We're going to swing back and get our pressure forward. This is the proper position that you should be in when you end your backswing. Okay? A backswing doesn't end with you having your weight and your pressure on your trail leg. You should already have been moving that pressure forward. That is the natural motion that we do in anything in life. Think about it. Any other reactive sport. If you're going to throw a ball, as you're taking your arm back, you are then starting to step forward. And by the time you have stepped, you are now ready to throw. We don't throw a ball being stuck back here and trying to throw that way, right? We're way off balance. It's not natural. It's the same in the golf swing. It's why people get stuck behind. If you're keeping your weight back here when you've finished, you're either going to fat it and get stuck behind, or if you're stuck here, you now have to, in the very short time of your downswing, try and transfer weight as well as timing up, hitting the ball, right? That's not consistent because you're going to change your low point. And if you're a little bit out of timing somewhere, it's going to result in the inconsistencies of your strike. So jumping back into it, we're wanting to link steps 1 and 2. Swing back and get that pump into the lead leg. Get that pressure forward. Get comfortable with this feeling. Once you're comfortable getting that in a smooth motion, now we just go to the step 2, which is the same as before. We're pushing into the lead leg and we're throwing the club at the same time. That doesn't change. Once you get comfortable hitting practice shots doing this, you can do it with a ball. Try the drill whilst hitting shots, but don't hit every shot with a ball. I don't want you focused on the ball. I want you focused on feeling the correct sequence and feeling the correct motion. So now when we're comfortable doing that 3 steps and condense it down to 2 steps, now we have to condense it down to 1 step, which is a full swing. Here, we're going to start a lot slower so you can still feel that same motion all pieced together. So we're going to swing back, move forward, push and throw. Get comfortable doing that motion and then build up your speed. It should feel a lot more natural of emotion, all right? It's really fluid, it's smooth. It's going to make us have a nice effortless looking swing. It's going to help us with our contact on the ball. It's going to eliminate casting it over the top because we're being a lot more smooth and patient in our transition. And get that feeling and then work into hitting a shot. Okay, so we're going to start club in front of the ball. We're going to do that same motion all in one piece. Swinging back, loading, push and hit. This drill is an absolute game changer. Work it religiously. Don't try and focus on putting your club in certain positions. The club will naturally go where it wants to because momentum and the natural motions of your body are placing the club where it wants to be. All I want you to focus on is the feeling of turning back, getting that pressure forward, and then push and throw. There's no thinking of put your hands here, put your hands there. Practice this drill. Absolutely transform your game. Like and subscribe for more if you liked this video. I'll be posting much more regular long-form coaching content coming up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.